Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing BPaulsen in the 3-minute pool on ICC. First game of the session. I just played a standard game on ICC. It was a very short video, about 15 minutes or something, so I figure I'll try to make up for it a bit and play another game here. Another session entirely, actually. Okay, so I'm playing the Rubinstein variation of the Nimzo-Indian. Played this player recently. I think I can castle here. I don't think knight takes c3 is good. And here, I believe I should do this. Now, I want to kick this knight out. I've had this position before, OTB. There's knight e1 and also knight d2. I think knight e1 is a bit more interesting. Let's try it. So, looking to play f3 and just kick this knight out. He goes back. So now, how to get this piece active, because it is out of play at the moment. I mean, e4 is obvious, but that loses a pawn, right? He can take several times on e4. Let's throw in a4. I just want to see how he reacts to this. Plays the knight out. Okay, so I can play bishop a3 perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. Try to entice d6, whereupon maybe d5 is decent. Okay, now maybe try to get rid of this pawn. Doubled c-pawn, so if I can offload one, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go here. Now maybe the knight can come to c2, I'm thinking. Yeah, try to get this back in the game. Connect the rooks together too. If queen f4, probably just rook e1. Okay, so reasonable position for both sides, I think. Let's take here. So he is threatening the a pawn now. Maybe a5 would have been more accurate on that previous move. Queen e5 I'm looking at, trying to attack c7. He's ready to play knight d5. Queen e5 is quite interesting, though. Queen e5, knight d5. Nah, yeah, I don't like that. I'm just going to go back here. He still might play knight d5, but maybe then queen e5. Oh, no, I have to defend c3 if he does that. Okay. So c4. Yeah, let's play c4. Go here. I gotta play a lot faster now, though. 45 seconds. I actually didn't mean to play this system. I was gonna play a different line, not even go into the Nimzo-Indian, but what can you do? Okay. Let's reposition. Bringing the bishop back out. If the game opens up, I like that for my bishop pair, but I don't like the clock situation. So I'm probably looking to play c5 here soon. This looks annoying. Again, looking for c5. Let's play it. If he takes, I have rook takes. That's bad news for him. Ooh, yeah, fork on the queen. and the knight. He just didn't notice his queen. So big blunder by BPaulsen. I was just looking at this line recently because I think I had this against Erwin Lamy, who's a Dutch grandmaster. This was played at the Reykjavik Open maybe 5 years ago. And I believe in that game I played knight d2 in this position, which I don't think should bring an advantage to white. So with knight e1, I was trying to keep more pieces on board, but undoubtedly my coordination becomes a bit weird. Knight on the back rank. I can't connect my rook so easily. I was feeling pretty good about getting c5 in because it's desirable for white to trade these double pawns. Black probably has counterplay though. I think here I should not have taken on b6. I don't like that when black can retake with the a pawn because now I have problems with my a pawn. So maybe I should have played a5 at this juncture. Let's just take a look at the computer. Engine says queen e5. Yeah, taking and my edge drops a bit. It felt like black was getting decent play. He might have lost the thread with queen h5, bishop a6, knight b7. Something about that whole operation feels wrong. Yeah, and in the final moments, if he had played queen d5, anchoring the queen on a nice central square, then it's anyone's game. I'd probably prefer to be black there, to be honest. All right, so we start off with a win. Back in the pool. I've really been enjoying the Sinquefield Cup. I've been watching a lot of the coverage, following the games. Lots of decisive games, way more than I thought, in fact. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the last couple rounds. The game today between MVL and Karyakin, which was a ton of theory in the Berlin, was just crazy to me. I think like a good indication of how modern chess is being played, right? Where Karyakin, I saw a tweet of his after the game. He said that he had everything up till, I think it was move 38, in his analysis. And he had to just spend all this time during the game trying to remember it. Whereas MVL was just blitzing it out. I actually didn't get to see the beginning part of the game, but I was just following some of the tweets and stuff online. So that's just insane that you get, 38 moves of theory these days at the top level, even in supposedly non-forcing openings like the Berlin Wall. Okay, let's play e6 against IM Tugrik. Take on c4. g3 is a popular system against the Semi-Slav. Increasingly popular. Okay, so I tend to have issues against this move order. I've messed up against this before, so I'm going to try to be careful. My instinct is always to play bishop e7 there, but I think h6 is better. White going for compensation in the form of an attack. Okay, there's some line here, if I'm not mistaken. Knight e4, queen e8. Really? Bishop g5 right away? Well, I have to take that. Okay, so he's going to go for the two pieces. I had thought that this was supposed to be good for black, but maybe not. Let's first take here. I think that's logical. And now... Knight b6. Yeah, let's go knight b6. I want to start hustling my king over this way. He's probably going to play for f4, I'd imagine. And then I'm thinking about playing g4, trying to keep the position closed. You could play aggressively, though. f4, g4, f5. Maybe I was better off with queen e8. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, let's get the knight involved in the defense, hopefully. I'm going to take with a king. Be bold. And then just pray that I can get my king over to the queen side. Queen h5 might be a good move here, though, is the problem. Queen h5, king d7. If he checks, I can block with a bishop. Okay. I'm not losing yet. He takes. Wow. Take with the queen? Take the queen, he takes on f8, I suppose. Then I have c5, which is pretty interesting. c5, rook e8, check, king d7. Wow, and I might just dance away there. Huh. Let's try it. It's probably worth a shot. Yeah, he has queen g8. That's a bummer. Did not notice that. Queen g8 against c5, which is just straight up strong. Yeah, that almost just instantly wins. Okay, so let's take... Can still play queen g8, unfortunately. I'll have to go for some king activity here and hope for the best. King e4. All right. Now I'm relying on my queenside mass, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay, let's keep going. Why not? He's probably going to trade and now play e6. But at least I have maybe some compensation in the form of these dangerous pawns. King d2. Now I'll probably play this first. This is a weird position. Not so easy for him to play with little time. He's going to go directly for this. Interesting. And now queen, I guess. Let's push this pawn. Wow. Am I going to win this? a5? Ooh, he might have had rook over there. I'm actually going to win this. King activity to the maximum. King f5, king e4, king d3. Hey, and at Blitz game, it was worth a shot. Definitely. Oh, is he lagging out? Okay, it's not me. It's his time. Scanty swindle, chalk it up, put it on the board. I think he was actually all right at the end even. So right here, can he play rook a7? Rook a7, and if I queen, he takes on a5 check first. Then I have to go to the b file, he checks and takes, and actually he just wins there. So he might have been winning even up till the very end. Rook a7, I can play king b3, according to the computer. Yeah, that's worth showing. So rook a7, and the idea would be this, as I was describing. Check. And then just approach these pawns. But looks like I can save even here with king b3. And now I'm trying to figure out why that saves. If take queen, that's the same line, right? Is the idea take king here, but then he just comes back this way. And I have trouble like that. Why is king b3 a draw according to the computer? Here, queen, here. I just assumed this was losing. Maybe it's not. Maybe my king is active and can harass these pawns from behind. Let's see. No, that's winning for white. King b3 takes. King c4. Wow. Ooh, if you notice that at home, very well done. That's a nice subtlety. Huh. That would be never be found in a blitz game, I can assure you. King c4, just covering the b5 square. And I'm going to queen. He has checks, but then, it's like that famous, what is it, Salvio study? King c5. He can continue checking, but we're eventually going to go back to, well, I guess here I could cut over to the b file at any moment, so long as I don't get skewered from behind. Yeah, cut back over. That is instructive. Okay. So after a5, rook a7, king b3, the proper ending would be check. Yeah, with a probable draw. If ever I try to come in front here, then he can resume attacking this pawn, and then I really might lose. Yeah, because now, if this happens, now I can't escape this scenario where I just go into the losing ending. I gotta look at this line again on my own time, because I had thought that black was fine in this variation, but it's very complex, as you can see. Yeah, knight e4, that seems to be the main move, but he just went for bishop g5 check right away. So how did I misplay this? Better is knight 7 b6, trying to clog everything up and hustle the king out. Yeah, maybe I need to keep this knight on d5. I think this was naive how I played it. Take, knight b6, f4. f4 is a good move. And I was desperately trying to keep the position closed, but he was having none of it. There's something about these structures, though, and also in the Botvinnik variation of the Semi-Slav, where you see the same pawn structure, the game can get extremely messy and just objectively bad for one side, but they'll always have this counterplay because of the weird structure and how dangerous those pawns can be in the endgame. I've just noticed this phenomenon like time and time again. So even though I'm clearly losing here, I mean, maybe queen e8 is just the cleaner way to do this, but I'm clearly losing. Even this ending we got into after take and take, despite what the engine's saying, like, this is not so simple to play for white, as you can see by my opponent, like, eventually losing this. I thought c6 was bad. I don't think I would have played c6 here. Yeah, rook e6 followed by c6 is better. Okay. That way he doesn't lose both pawns. This was a bit tricky, trying to decide what to do here. I played b4. Yeah, b4 is the best move. I wanted to play my king to the second rank, but on king b2, I didn't like that he can give a check. And king d2 didn't seem to the point to me. I wanted my king a bit closer to these pawns to try to escort them up the board. So on b4, the computer's showing draw, but hey, it's a time scramble. Anything can happen here. And actually, he was winning with rook a8, not rook b7. So I messed up by not playing king c2. King c2 so as to avoid the a-file stuff. And here I'm threatening the queen, so probably he checks. I go back. Yeah, and that would be the proper end to the game, draw. Instead, the way I played it, king a2, he could have played this and won the game. Yeah, now this line is forced, as we're looking at. Very interesting game, even though it was 3-minute and mutual mistakes. So I'm back in the pool. But yeah, as I was saying earlier about that MVL versus Karyakin game, it just boggles my mind how much prep these guys have. I mean, MVL and Karyakin are two of the most booked up guys on planet Earth, but even in supposedly non-forcing openings like the Berlin, there's just this incredible amount of theory that's being amassed. I thought that's why the Berlin became popular, is that people were trying to largely avoid these forced lines, because there's numerous ways white and black can throw in kind of constructive moves, maybe moves that the engine are not going to rate so highly but are still valid, and try to play a game based on your experience and understanding of the positions rather than theory, but they're kind of proving otherwise. Okay, I'm going to play bishop e3, just a bit different of a system. Yeah, here, and I'll go queen d2. I don't often go for this early bishop and queen battery, but this is worth a shot. Okay, do I play bishop h6 right away or not? I think I actually do. So let's play it. Go immediately for the trade. And the plan is just to castle queenside and attack. If takes queen here, probably. Actually, okay, let's take. I'll let him do that if he wants. Maybe bishop d3 after this. Castles would be nice, but castles, queen takes, and then f2 is a bit weak. I can play f3, right? Yeah, okay, let's try that. And now the most brute force way to play it is h4, h5. So let's let's give it a shot. Playing aggressively. It worked in the last game. We'll continue. Ah, okay. Clever, sir. He's going for the old queen trap. Shut the door on the queen. Kind of thought I'd be able to get out of this. Knight d5 comes to mind. Knight d5, he takes probably. Let's try it. I'm underdeveloped, my king side. Not happy about that, but I think I need to do this move to try to upset the coordination here. And now do I take first? Yeah, probably take first. This g5 pawn is, or should be dead. Ah, he has queen e3 check. Missed that move. He can throw that in. That's annoying. That is annoying. So I should have taken check first. Okay, on knight e5, I can still play bishop d3 at least. And threaten stuff on h7, because I'm worried knight e5, he's going to play knight g4, one of the knights g4, and really end up trapping my queen. Ooh, another move I didn't see. Okay, knight h3. Play for the attack. I can't take here, I get back rank mated. I think this is about the only way to play it. If g4, knight g5, there's going to be threats against his king. Complex. Gotta watch knight c3 as well. I don't think it does anything right now, but it should be on my radar. Yeah, gotta do this. Knight f6, bishop d3. And bishop takes h7 is landing. Do I have a win after that? Got all these discoveries. I want to eliminate this knight, clearly. He'll probably play knight e5, I would imagine. Knight e5, bishop h7, king h8, and challenge me to find a win there. Can also play knight takes h... Ah, no, I can't play knight takes h7. Never mind. Well, first let's do that. Rook e1. Let's throw in rook e1. I feel like I could calculate for ages here to try to find a win, but I shouldn't. I should just play fast. But f4. Yeah, let's try f4. He's going to play knight c4, I think. Ah, but then I have bishop d3. Okay, so he can't play knight c4. He's got to go knight here, and then maybe I can land rook takes e7 and get at this knight. So he's trying to keep f6 protected. But yeah, now there's a lot of stuff converging on f7. This is starting to look bad for him. Bishop f5, also a threat. Yeah, and he resigned. Wild game. So just going for it with the h-pawn worked out. This is another system I looked at real recently, this bishop e3, queen d2 stuff. I can't even remember if bishop h6 is the right move or not. It's something I just happened to cross my, I don't know, my chess periphery, my peripheral chess vision. I saw in a game somewhere and I thought, oh, this system looks interesting. Maybe I'll add it to my repertoire. But in hindsight, after the trade on h6, c5 seems like a good counter break. Because this queen a5 resource where black is threatening knight takes e4, this always slows white down. I tried to keep it up with castles and then f3, and we have maybe a dragon-like position, but I don't fully trust this for white. I don't think this should work out. And I was a bit fortunate that after g5, my queen just wasn't dead. I do think I should have played queen takes g5 right here. Let's just see with the computer. No, the engine actually says e takes is best. Oh, now it says queen takes. But it gives after king h8, black playing knight b4. Black will be threatening mate and also threatening the d5 pawn. Yeah, surprisingly, queen e3 may not be a good idea, even though it protects the g pawn. Here he cleverly wins the pawn due to the back rank stuff, but knight h3, and my play is accelerating. Yeah, knight g5, here bishop d3, and I think black's just dead now because of the pressure on h7. I'm just really glad I didn't try too hard to find a win here. Oh, wow, that's really nice. The line the computer's showing right now, I gotta illustrate that. This makes for a good tactical puzzle. There's probably multiple ways to win. White is plus 18 after all. But after takes and takes, the engine wants to go bishop e4 check, king here, and now this shot, rook takes d6. That is beautiful. So trying to get at the knight on f6, which is holding everything together. So now after takes, I think it's just mate in 2, check. And whether he takes it or plays king h8, game over. That is lovely. I've seen a tactic like that in the dragon before, with rook takes d6 being the key. As often in these dragon-like positions, the knight is the thing holding together black's kingside. Okay, let's get back in there. So if not bishop h6, I think castles or, not king d1, castles or f3, probably the way to go. I'll look that up afterwards. All right, Machine Gun. Our buddy Machine Gun is the next opponent. We'll play a Sicilian. Open Sicilian. Fast player. Very fast player. Got to be cautious not to get into big thinks in this game. Okay, g4. I'm just going to go here. We'll let him go g5 and whatnot. Just strategically repositioning my knights. Put the bishop on b7. Maybe now I try to send the knight to c4. Yeah, let's do this first. Now I kind of menace b4. b4 takes, take on c3. That actually looks pretty good for me. I'm going to do that. If he moves his knight away, then probably knight c4 anyways. So he's pressing a lot on the king side. The traditional response is to try to counterattack in the center. So that's what I'm looking to do here. He might play knight d5, takes and then take here, but he goes with knight a4, the more sane move. Also kind of tempted to try to go after this knight, but let's just do this. Important that I control d7. Okay, can he even defend his knight after I take on e3? I don't think so. He has knight a5, that's annoying. Okay, first let's take here. But what if I play bishop c6? Not queen c6, bishop c6. Yeah. I was thinking queen c6, knight a5, but here I don't even have to allow knight a5. Just attack it with the bishop. And that's going to be a full knight. Okay, take that. I want to take on e4, but probably first I need to move my queen so I don't just lose it. I'm hitting the rook here. He'll probably castle, yeah. Let's take. Yeah, now he's just going to go all out trying to attack. I want to land a quick rook c8 if I can. Nah, let's just do this. Let's just stay solid. Put the bishop back in the center. If I can play d5 and get my dark square bishop involved, I think it's all over. Bishop b4 now threatened. If a3, maybe bishop c5 and just castle short. Yeah, just shouldn't be enough for him. We'll go here anyways. Takes with the queen. I have bishop takes d4, so he resigned. Aggressive opponent. I like this queen b6 line. The alternative is e6, but that allows the so-called Velimirovich attack, which I'll show you. So if black plays this natural move, you do have to be ready for like bishop e3 here, and then queen e2 when white is trying to castle queenside. Aggressive line, very complicated. Objectively, probably fine for black. But queen b6 is a move I've been trying out. It's a common way to try to avoid that Velimirovich attack, because now with bishop e3, white has to reckon with queen takes b2. So it often has the effect of backing off white's knight. You see this in some other lines of the Sicilian, like black will do this with the goal of putting the queen back on c7 later. I don't want my queen on b6 because it blocks my b pawn, but if I can convince white's knight to move, then putting it back here is a good idea. Yeah, and I like the fact that the d7 square is open against g4, g5, because sometimes g4, g5 can be awkward if you already have, say, your other knight here. But I think in this case with with d7 being available for that piece to drop back to, I think it should be good. So I'm just going to very quickly look at this. Oh, my opponent's making moves. He says a4. Yeah, a4 would be better. Yeah, stops b5. We're communicating with the moves on the board. Chess is its own language, right? Yeah. Probably I go b6 here. And I just try to play the position, but with kind of a hedgehog formation. I don't know. Position's double-edged. I think with a4, though, white's less likely to castle queenside, because they've already damaged their king a bit. Yeah, as played, I liked what happened. I think b4 is a nice response to f4, because I'm very happy to bring about play in the center. Like if take, have this happen. This looks like it in my favor. As you can see, his structure is pretty ragged. His king is still in the center. Mine is too, but it's the safer of the two kings. And he has this issue on c3 to attend to. Okay, I'm going to play one more game. I feel like I'm in a nice flow right now. I've just been looking at a lot of chess lately. I've been studying a ton. Working on openings in particular. Openings and a bit of calculation. Because I've got these tournaments coming up, so I'm trying to prepare myself as best as possible. And all the best results I've had in chess have always been correlated with spending like lots of time, particularly on openings, right before the events. So I'm not saying that that is what you should do necessarily, but I know at the higher echelons of chess, like master level and above, it's just such a big help to be like relatively solid in the openings, like have a decent idea of what you're doing at the beginning of the game. Okay, playing OpeningMagician. Let's open with d4. I mean, the amount of time you save on your clock just by being relatively solid in the openings is enormous. Okay, so let's see what he throws at me. He's going to play a Grunfeld. This is a relatively easy to play line for white. Against that, I think I'm just going to develop and offer transpositions to Panov type positions if he wants them. So if I take on d5. Okay, let's try that. Gonna attempt to gain a pawn and see what happens. I don't know. He was just being very provocative by not defending that pawn, so I figure I might as well go after it. Okay, let's back this off. Maybe take this way. Damages my structure a bit, but could be all right. Okay, let's take. Now I really think I need to catch up in my development, so I'll play this way. Queen c1 maybe? Queen c2, there's bishop f5. I didn't like the look of that. So queen c1, try to keep everything under wraps. That's a good move. Yeah, and now unfortunately on rook b1, there's still bishop f5. So castles take b2, rook b1 can I play? That's unpleasant though. I mean, after the trade, he's going to have an advantage. I think I kind of have to speculate with this though. I have to try it. Yeah, and now definitely black's better with the two bishops. But the game is not over. If it takes, I wonder if I have knight a4. It's possible. Knight a4, rook here, a3. Should probably do it. Okay. Yeah, now my pieces might be a little awkward, huh? Rook c8. I want to go bishop e4 and try to trade. But maybe I can't. Maybe I won't get away with it. There's rook d8 here. Yeah, rook d8's a bummer, I think. Yeah. No, I probably just lose a piece. Here, we can just take it. Okay, I'm going to resign that game. That was well played by my opponent. So it looks like black retains good compensation. I went for the pawn, but after queen c1, queen b6, don't think there's a good way to keep it, because importantly, if I play b3 or rook b1, he has issues, or he can cause me issues on both. Major issues, like losing issues, I think. If rook b1, there's bishop f5. And if e4, there's bishop takes c3 check, queen takes, and then bishop takes e4 at the end. And if b3, there's queen b4, whereupon I'd have to play king d2, and then rook d8 comes, and yeah, that's just over. So I think I'm either much worse or losing at this point. Yeah, it looks bad. And knight a4, I probably miscalculated. Well, I definitely think I underestimated the trouble that I have here, like coordinating my pieces. I'm worse anyways, even if I don't have tactical problems here, because it's two bishops versus bishop and knight. But yeah, there might be some very narrow way I can try to hold, like rook c5, I guess is better because it stops bishop b5. Given how much time I had spent at that point, though, it wasn't looking good. Okay. So maybe black can get away with this deliberately provocative approach, like letting white take on d5, take on f6, and then take on d5, but his good counter arguments. Yeah, actually there is a line with c takes d5. I don't know why I didn't think about that. C takes d5 is the main move here, I think, for white, not knight takes d5. Okay. Got to look that up, too. All right, so let's just tally up the results for this session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins, 1 loss. Not bad. And gained a bit of rating. 5 points. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back again soon with another one. All right, bye guys.